Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and there's no God beside him. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of a great millstone. Salutations to the elect. Yet, as we see, another warning of a major terror attack right here in the U.S. by 2025 by former Green Beret, right? And this article came out in June 24th. So I'm guessing this was a warning. You know, said, well, this article came out yesterday, actually. Yeah, yesterday was the 24th. This is a warning that was quite recent. And there's been plenty of warnings in the past. Actually, the FBI, it was an FBI director who also gave a warning, I want to say back in March, right? So this is not something to take lightly, but to, as Yahweh Shah said, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. Now it says a former Green Beret has warned that there will be a major attack inside the U.S. by 2025. Now, 2025 is literally only, 5 months away. We basically in the month of July, so that's only 5 months away. And, you know, as we entering the time of folly season, I mean, this is the U.S., so pretty much all year round, there's some type of folly going on, some type of foolishness. But you have, you know, these different affairs and, you know, different, Memorial Day, or was it Veterans Day? One of those days coming up in September. I believe it's Memorial Day. You got July 4th. You got, you know, all these Christmas, New Year's, all these things coming up to where people are going to want to be outside and they're going to be congregated. So, you know, a lot of times that's normally when things happen. So we just got to keep our eyes glued. You know, it's something quick I wanted to do in the spirit. It says, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann, author of Operation Pineapple Express, claims that veteran sources in Afghanistan have told him to expect a major terror event within the U.S. within the next year. Right? And if you look at what's happening around the world, there's major terror attacks. There's one just happened the other day in Russia. Where was it? A priest. What was that, in Russia, if I'm not mistaken? In Dagestan. Right? I mean, it's pretty interesting. It says, Russia has seen 2 major terror attacks in just 3 months. Right? So it's seeming like this is the time. Gunmen in Russia's Dagestan kills police and priests in terror attack. Now, reading on. This is an interview with Newsmax on Saturday, and told host Rob Smith what they're saying is there is a very, very imminent attack on the horizon and a lot of activity below the surface inside the Afghanistan. He added, it has become the world's biggest safe haven to launch an attack against the West and specifically the U.S. Mann was part of the Task Force Pineapple a task force set up by a volunteer group of U.S. veterans to evacuate American citizens and Afghan allies following the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan. Mann went on to lambast the U.S. intelligence apparatus and politicians for allowing a return to the same set of conditions that preceded the 9/11 attacks, which led to a massive expansion of domestic surveillance powers and a global war on terror. We've been here before. We experienced this before. We swore never again on 9/11 and spent 20 years building an intelligence capability and a partner capability inside Afghanistan to deal with this, Mann explained. Mann claims since Joe Biden abandoned Afghanistan, leaving billions of dollars of military equipment and weaponry, the terror danger has returned. And then on August 15th, 3 years ago, we just walked away from it and abandoned 98% of our intelligence capability. We've left it on that battlefield. Now, for these striking revelations to come from these senior leaders that the dashboard is blinking red, yeah, it is, and it has been for some time, even since we left there. So it does feel a lot like pre-9/11. But the difference this time is that we actually do have a threat picture on what's happening, and we have an understanding on what's happening. He continued, but the irony of it is, it's in the mouths and groups of these veterans, and it's really not coming from the very agencies and institutions that you would expect to be driving this effort. That may be because the U.S. intelligence community is too busy using their vast powers to target American citizens over their Christian faith or support for Donald Trump. Okay, Salakia, and I skipped this part. A former Green Beret has warned that there will be a major attack inside the U.S. by 2025, and it will be partly thanks to President Biden's open border policies. Right? So, something quick, like I said in the news, something to keep watching to. It's being said over and over again. So, and it's by different sources. Alarmingly enough, government agencies like the FBI already warned of coming terror attacks. So we know something's coming down the pipe. All right. Now it can be various ones as far as different attacks on churches and at the same time infrastructure. All right, because America wants a reason to go to war with Russia. America wants a reason to go into the Middle East. All right, America wants a reason. Whereas they're talking about bringing back the draft. Why would you need a draft? Because you know that war is getting ready to pop off, and you're going to need the numbers. This is Proverbs 3, verse 25. I want to read it in the NLT. You need not to be afraid of sudden disaster or the destruction that comes upon the wicked. For the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. Right? Because we're watching and we're praying that we enter not into temptation. All right? May Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai keep our steps, that we be safe, in these various attacks that's coming to this place. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it. Okay, Salakia. For the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. In the KJV it says, be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. All right? Because this is all for the downfall of the wicked. It is prophesied that World War III must happen, which entails the downfall of our enemies. All right? This great infrastructure, all right, which encompasses all the previous wicked infrastructures, will be taken down. All right, and it will go to World War III. The scriptures speak on how the Lord mustereth the host of the battle. All right, and eventually they're going to take it. All right, they're going to take it to the Middle East, otherwise known as the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the Valley of Decision. All right, it's prophesied that this place shall go up in flames. Remember, Revelation 18 said Babylon is taken. Right? Let me grab that one. Right, this is the aftermath where it says, this is John the Baptist seeing the destruction, right, of Babylon. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit. And that's essentially to the end thereof of nuclear missiles. All right, but even before that, the scriptures speak on wars, and wars on different fronts. Matter of fact, we could jump to Matthew 24. Famous precept, Matthew 24 verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Jumping down to verse, let's read through. Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right? That was the point. Wars and rumors of wars on all different fronts. Let's go to verse 37. So in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, and the 37th verse. Right? And I like going to these chapters, 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, because it pretty much gives the what Yahushua said in Matthew 24, but in detail, more in detail rather. All right. So at the point of wars and rumors of wars, this is what happened in the midst of wars, right? And you haven't been living under a rock. You know we're in a time of war. All right, Russia and Ukraine, America and Taiwan, North Korea and America, America and China. And America has a bone to pick with a lot of people. At the same time, they're allowing all these people, all right, who hate this place, mind you, to come over here. I quoted in camp the other day, but there was a clip from the immigrants coming. They were interviewing the immigrants coming across the border, and one guy, all right, which is no coincidence that they specifically got this guy. Nevertheless, he was from a portion of the Middle East, maybe Yemen, Lebanon. They didn't really say, but they made sure they captured what he actually said, which is, you don't know who I am, you're going to know very soon. And this was maybe 4 months ago, at the top of the year, that portion of that interview came out. So something's coming down the pipe. Again, I do this quick hit to inform you to keep watch. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And let me start up in verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And with that, shalom to the elect.